Greetings, everyone, and welcome to some more JetPunk quizzes. Today, I'm going to try the Science General Knowledge playlist. So I've done general knowledge, I've done history, and I've done geography. Science is another topic that I consider myself reasonably knowledgeable in, but I think I'm a little bit weaker than geography and history, so we'll see if the scores reflect that. This is a short playlist. There are only 3 quizzes in here, but I'm just going to give them a go and see how my science knowledge stacks up against the other stuff. And as always, if you like these kinds of videos, you have more playlists you want me to try, more subjects, whatever, I'm happy to give anything a go, so just let me know. Number 1. In what galaxy is the solar system located? It's the Milky Way. Is it going to be this easy? Hopefully it gets a little harder than that. Milky War. Oops. What species is the closest living relative to humans? The chimp, I think. What is equal to mass times acceleration? Newton's second law, is it? Force equals mass times acceleration. What is the chemical formula for water? H2O. Who was the first person to see the moons of Jupiter? This guy just came up in one of the history quizzes. Galileo. What is the hardest known naturally occurring material? Diamond, I guess. What is pencil lead made from? It's graphite, which is an allotrope of carbon. What element are both of the above minerals made from? I wonder. Carbon. The sun is currently a yellow dwarf. What type of star will it become in about 5 billion years? I think it's a red giant. Good. What are the 2 types of particles in the nucleus of an atom? Protons and neutrons. What astronomer born in modern-day Poland postulated that the sun is at the center of the solar system? The heliocentrist is Copernicus. What process do plants use to turn light into energy? It's called photosynthesis. Where would you find Olympus Mons? That is the highest peak in the solar system, I think. It's on Mars. What is a chronometer measure? Chrono meaning time, like the Greek god Kronos. Well, Titan, but you know what I mean. What is the duodenum a part of? It's the small intestine. I think it's ileum, jejunum, and duodenum are the 3 parts. What type of sugar does the brain use for energy? That's, I don't know, glucose probably. 2 elements of the periodic table are named after U.S. states. Name either element. Gotta go for Californium, but Tennessine will be the other. What is the largest asteroid in the solar system? Ceres, I guess. Yep. And what do most humans have 23 pairs of? Those would be chromosomes. Okay, so that wasn't that hard. Maybe I can get 60 out of 60 here. I could get a perfect score on the science. I mean, most of those questions were not that... Wow, Ceres at 16. Never mind. Okay, that was apparently quite hard. Everything else was fine. There are only 3 that are below 50%, so that quiz definitely skewed easy, but I'm happy to pick up the 16%er, because that's, you know, that's solid. And we head to number 2. What ology is the study of prehistoric life? Oh no. Is that archaeology? No, that's not life. Not zoology. I mean, it's not paleontology, is it? Oh, it is. Interesting. I guess, I think of paleontology as, like, specifically digging up fossils and stuff, but I guess it's more broad than that. What is the largest planet in the solar system? Jupiter. What is the most common element in the Earth's atmosphere? Nitrogen. What is the scientific name of the human species? Homo sapiens. Isn't it, like, technically Homo sapiens sapiens or something? Like, isn't it, like, doubled? Anyway, what is missing in this sequence? Order, class, blank, kingdom. We're going backwards, but kingdom, phylum, class, order, so phylum should be this one. In the equation E equals mc squared, what does C represent? C is the speed of light. What type of cells have axons and dendrites? These are components of neurons. In humans, what organ produces eggs? The ovary. Good. What does the hypothesis become once it has been rigorously tested and verified? A theorem? No. An axiom? No, not an axiom. What does it want here? Hypothesis become once it's been rigorously tested and verified. True. I think I'm being dense here. I think this is obvious, and for some reason I'm not thinking of the right word. I'll come back to it. What is thought to be the heaviest species of animal that has ever lived? Probably the blue whale. Good. What is lava called when it is below the Earth's surface? Magma. What never decreases according to the second law of thermodynamics? Entropy. What layer of the atmosphere starts at about 10 kilometers above the surface of the Earth? So you start with the troposphere, and then it's the stratosphere. What is defined as exactly negative 273.15 degrees Celsius? That's absolute zero. What does the average adult have 206 of? Bones. What scientific theory describes the process of continental drift? Thank you for giving me blank tectonics, but plate tectonics. What region of the Earth can be found between the crust and the core? That's the mantle. The prefix mega represents 1 million. What prefix represents 1 billion? That's giga. What disease is caused by the Yersinia pestis bacteria? What? I don't know freaking Latin names for bacterias. Or bacterias, bacteria, whatever. I forgot how plural words worked. Bubonic plague. It is. Wow, okay. What is a single particle of light called? A photon. So, okay. A hypothesis becomes, once it has been rigorously tested and verified, it becomes... I mean, what word do you want here? A law? A... Dude, am I really gonna miss this? Is this the one I'm gonna miss? This is insane. There's some really obvious word that I'm not thinking of right now. A thesis. No. What in the world do you want from me here? Not a conjecture. That's a hypothesis. How is it is it not a theorem? It's not theory. It is theory. What? Is that really? Okay. I don't remember specifics of the scientific method. I guess to me theory just kind of means I guess it is different, right? Theory of relativity is it's an established thing, right? It has been rigorously tested and verified. So I guess it makes sense. To me, the word theory just still means hypothetical, I guess. So it's kind of okay. Fair enough. So theory rather than theorem. Okay, well, I had 20 seconds to spare, but I got it. How easy was that question? 70%? Yeah, that checks out. Plague was the hardest, which makes sense because it's why would you know the scientific name of that? But, okay, that's 40 out of 40. Can we finish with a perfect 60 out of 60? What are the three major types of rock? Igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic. What theory states that the universe expanded from an extremely hot, dense state about 13.8 billion years ago? Big Bang Theory. What ology is the study of weather? Meteorology. What part of a human cell has its own non-human DNA? Do you want mitochondrial DNA? Okay. What prefix is the opposite of hypo? Should be hyper. What is thought to be at the center of the Milky Way? A black hole. Through what process does the sun turn hydrogen into helium? It's nuclear fusion. What unit of power is defined as 1 joule per second? A watt, perhaps? Where can one find a stalagmite? It's in a cave, specifically on the floor. What does a thermophile love? Heat. That is a weird... Okay, yeah, I guess... sure. I've never heard the word thermophile, but I guess it makes sense. What is the term for the distance between the Earth and the Sun? The average distance, at least. It's called an astronomical unit. What kingdom do yeasts and mushrooms belong to? They are fungi. What is measured on the enhanced Fujita scale, with the highest rating being EF5? It's tornado strength. What gas is the primary reason for human-caused global warming? CO2. What gland located at the base of the brain produces human growth hormone? I'd like to get this right first try. Pituitary, I think. Good. What substance added to salt has largely eliminated cretinism in the developed world? What? Cretinism? Is that just people being stupid? What? Is that an actual condition? Added to salt. Iodine? Yo, yeah, like shout out iodized salt. I guess I never knew what that was about, but cool, nice. What does a Geiger counter measure? Like radiation. And then what is commonly known as laughing gas? It's called what? It's NO2, nitrous oxide? I think it's NO2, but or no, is it N2O? I think it's N2O actually. Anyway. Okay, nice. I guess my science general knowledge is pretty good. If you quiz me on really hard science stuff, I would start to get a lot of things wrong. Because it's not as deep, nearly as deep as, like, say, my geography knowledge. But hey, apparently it's not so bad. 34% iodine was the hardest. There are a couple of questions there at 35 as well. So Ceres was by far the hardest question in the series, interestingly enough. And yeah, I mean, that was pretty smooth sailing, I would say. If you have any harder science things you want me to try, again, always let me know. And otherwise, that's a pretty short video, but it's all I've got for you for this one. I hope you enjoyed watching me play some science questions. And yeah, happy to do anything you guys would like going forward. But that's going to be it for me today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.